What's up, guys?
Welcome back to another episode of
Reading Bad Fanfic.
today's episode.
Lisa.
Actually, it's by E. Anthony. And you guys remember Quotive. It was
My eye. Look at it.
So today we're going to be reading E. Anthony. This one's called I'm My Best Friend's Boyfriend. Ian wakes up and is feeling wired. Antononi helped him home from a party that didn't end really well, but something is wrong. Anthony is acting different. What will happen?
Ian woke up feeling dizzy. His head hurt really bad, and it felt like 1,000,000 people had stepped on him. He looked around and noticed he was in the smosh house. I hope he's not there. He was lying in his old bed and heard someone whistle. Pat and Honey walked past the door and noticed Ian was awake.
Oh, finally! You awake!
Anthony said, walking in the door. What happened last night? Ian asked, getting out of bed.
I'll explain under breakfast. Come to the kitchen,
He said, walking out. Ian followed him and saw that he had made bacon, eggs, and pancakes. Ian and Anthony sat down, and Anthony started telling what happened.
Well, we was going to a party because Kalel broke up with me and Melanie broke up with you, so we decided to have fun instead of being sad. We walked in the room and we talked to each other for a while, but then I had to go to the bathroom. When I got back, you were talking to a girl that was into you, and it looked like you were into her. So I decided to leave you alone and just watch from a distance. After 30 minutes, a guy with big muscles walked over to the girl you were talking to and said he wanted her back. I got closer and observed what happened. She said she didn't want to, but the guy took her wrist and dragged her with. You stood up and said, "Let her go, douchebag!" He turned around and looked at you mad. He let go of the girl and walked to you, lifting you with your shirt. You kicked him in the stomach, but it looked like he didn't feel it because he just walked to you and punched you. You fell down on the ground and he started kicking you several times. I think you fainted because after a while you didn't move at all. I walked up to him and kicked him in the balls and he fell down on the ground in pain. I picked you up bride style and got you into my car fast so we didn't have to deal with the cops. Then I brought you here because I didn't know how to get to your apartment, and it would be wired if I came in with you and Kalel saw me.
So that was a mouthful for Ian. It felt more and more real the more he thought about it. Well, then thanks, Anthony, for helping me out.
That's what best friends are for,
Anthony said and hugged Ian. But Ian felt that this wasn't a bro hug they gave to each other once in a while. It was something more behind the hug.
Anthony went to the store to buy some food. Ian was still in the smosh house waiting for him. That's when his phone rang and heard a known voice saying,
I'm so sorry, Ian. I didn't know who that guy was. He was a total stranger. Do you forgive me?
Exactly, who are you?
It's Grace from the party last night. I understand if you don't remember, you got hit pretty hard.
What do you mean you didn't know that guy?
The girl on the other end was going to answer, but his phone crashed. Anthony walked in the door while Ian threw his phone in the wall. Well, there's our answer. What's wrong, Ian? Anthony asked, setting down the bags of food down. I am just mad that my phone doesn't work. Got quiet for a while. Ian thought about what Anthony told him. He was thinking really hard, and Anthony saw it in his eyes that something bugged him. Think really hard. What's wrong? Anthony said, sitting next to Ian on the couch.
I don't know. What you told me just doesn't match with my head. I don't remember, but I do now. I don't remember, but I do now. It happened more that night.
Anthony took his arm around Ian and said, "Dude, I just told you what I saw." Again, Ian felt that when Anthony's arm was around him, Anthony didn't mean it's going to be okay, bro, but something else.
Sick eyebrows. After a while, Ian got teared and got into his bed. He dreamed about what happened last night. It was only flashes from some things at the party that didn't make sense. Then he woke up by Anthony shaking him.
Ian, you okay?
He asked. Ian was screaming asleep. Yeah, he said while Anthony gave him a smile. Ian felt it again. It wasn't that bro smile. What you doing if your bro look at you and smiles, but it's not a bro smile. Where am I? Could it be? No, it can't be. Ian thought for a moment, and Anthony helped him up from the bed and into the living room. He made dinner while Ian watched TV.
Dinner is served.
Ian got off the couch and walked in the kitchen, but something was in front of him. So he fell on the ground and fainted for a little. Ian heard some dishes fall down the sink. I don't know,
Bro using generative fill.
He slowly opened his eyes and looked into Anthony's. Then he remembered a little bit of what happened last night. Anthony never told Ian he and Kalel broke up. That guy at the party didn't want that girl back. He only wanted a fight. And then Ian said to himself, Anthony can't be lying to me. Why would that be? Wait. If Kalel and Anthony broke up, why couldn't he take me to his apartment? I mean, Kalel wasn't there. Ian cleared his thought, asked Anthony the questions he had asked himself.
I may have lied to you about what happened last night.
Anthony said in burst. What? Ian didn't understand why, so Anthony started to tell the truth.
Well, Melanie broke up with you when you got sad, so I asked if you wanted to go to the party with me so it could cheer you up. After a while, you said yes, and it was true that I got back from the toilet, and you were talking to that girl, but what happened after that wasn't that true. I saw how you and that girl flirted with each other for half an hour. In the end, I got mad, and I found the toughest guy at the party and paid him to go over and disturb you. It got too far, because he started hurting you. I stood up and asked what he was doing. He said he was going to get money and a girlfriend. He and that girl walked out together happy. Well, I needed to take you home. I gave Kalel the place we lived, and Kalel didn't break up with me. I sort of did. What? You paid a guy to go disturb your friend? What do you mean disturb?
I could do it again if you want.
Ian just stared at Anthony that said he did all that.
Why didn't you tell me?
Ian asked. Anthony answered, because you would ask why, and I think I wasn't ready to tell you why. But no, I am. Anthony looked into Ian's eyes. He saw that Ian was confused. Me too.
Why did you break up with her?
Ian asked, waiting for an answer. Anthony stared deep into his eyes and took his hand on Ian's cheek. He slowly pulled Ian towards him and they kissed. Anthony felt sparks and didn't want to end the kiss. After 1 second. How many is that?
About 10.
Anthony pulled away, making Ian ask you many questions in his head. But Ian only said,
How long?
Anthony smiled and thought it was cute when Ian stuttered. Since the day we met, he said, smiling at Ian that was still confused. Ian didn't say anything. He was just shocked and looked at Anthony with his blue eyes and made Anthony want to answer more. So, what do you say? Anthony asked, looking at Ian hopefully. Ian needed to think what he was about to do.
He didn't ask anything. He kissed him. He said, how long since the day we met?
If he said yes, he would have a boyfriend even he wasn't gay. But if he said no, he would lose his best friend. After a while thinking, he looked into Anthony's brown eyes and looked back in the past. He was always there for him. He never left, since high school and even earlier. Ian knew what to answer now. He took his left hand on Anthony's right shoulder and said, this came to me as a shock, but I realized that I've loved you from the start too. Anthony became the happiest man alive. He gave Ian a big hug and a kiss on the lips. It was midnight. Ian and Anthony are lying in the same bed sleeping. Anthony fell asleep with a smile on his mouth because he did have Ian as his boyfriend now, and that's exactly what he wanted. But Ian couldn't sleep. He didn't actually know what he wanted. He liked Anthony but wasn't gay. Ian didn't even know if he had these kind of feelings for Anthony. He continued thinking, and Anthony slowly took his arm around Ian. After a while, he understood what he had done. Ian didn't feel that way for Anthony, but maybe he would feel something after a while. Or maybe not. To be continued. Maybe. Or maybe not.
Next, the day after.
Wait, there's more? The day after, Ian's point of view.
I woke up feeling arms around me. I looked at the person's arms and remembered what happened last night. God damn, Ian, you screwed up everything. You don't have feelings for him, and he'd think you do. Now it will get worse. When or if Anthony finds out the truth. I felt Anthony kiss my cheek and saying,
Good morning.
Good morning, I said normal. Anthony tightened his arm around me and I could feel his heart beat in my back. Can you make some food? I said just so he could get a Y for me.
Yeah, sure, he said, kissing my chin and getting up.
I'm still teared, so I will come when you're done making food, I said, and Anthony nodded. Why do I always have these stupid ideas? I don't want him to touch me like that, but I'm sure he wants to. I can't avoid him forever, but because he thinks I am his boyfriend. As his beaufriend. Bo-yo. And that's because I agreed to it. Kind of. What am I going to do?
Anthony's point of view. you. I can't believe Ian actually liked me in the same way I do. I thought he was straight, but I was wrong. He loves me, and I am so excited to tell the people that E. Anthony is real. I just want to hug him and kiss him, because now he is mine, and I hope it will be like that forever. Telling everyone. Anthony's point of view. Lately, I have tried so much to be near Ian, but he always back away. I tried to kiss him, and his just left me. Maybe his just nervous because he never have had a boyfriend. I just want to hold him and kiss him, but I think I have to wait till he's ready to realize that E. Anthony is real. Today, we are going to tell everyone at Game Bang that we are together, and I am so happy.
Ian point of view. We are going to tell everyone today about me and Anthony, and I am so scared. The last times Anthony tried to kiss me or hug me, I just backed away scared. I'm so angry at myself for screwing up everything. We can just go to gangbang and get over it, but I'm sure I have to kiss Anthony in front of the camera to prove that we are together. Why is this so hard? Why can't I tell him the truth? We were in gangbang and I can't tell how scared I am right now. We were entering the room and everyone looked at us normal. They saw I was afraid of something.
Ian, you okay?
Mari asked curious. Yeah, I am fine, I said, really nervous. Mari looked at me with a I don't believe you face. But loosely for me, Anthony saved me from questions.
Let's start filming, guys!
He said, starting the camera. We were playing Mario Kart, and it was really fun. It got my thought at Anthony, but not completely.
That was all for today, guys. See?
Mari said, but Anthony stopped her and said,
It's not actually all for today yet.
Everyone looked at Anthony curious. He walked over to me, grabbed my hand, and put me into a kiss. I didn't expect that, so I got really surprised with a Z when he did it. After some seconds, I understood.
I had to kiss back. Ian is always a victim as hell in these fucking stories.
I kissed back if it was going to look real, so I did. I don't know what it was. I felt something in that kiss that no other girl made me. An extra tooth just fell out.
Extra tooth.
I'm falling for Anthony! When he pulled away, all the people in the room had their mouths wide open.
Oh my god. E. Anthony is real.
Josh asked, still surprised with a Z.
What do you think? I just kissed Ian.
Anthony said jokingly. We all laughed a nervous laugh before everyone woke up from the shock. They walked to us and gave us a big group hug and smiling. That was all for today, guys. Bye! I said while getting crushed in the hug. Everyone congratulated us and was happy for us. And this may be wired, but I think I'm falling for Anthony hard. When we walked out of the room, Anthony took his arm around me, took me tighter to him when David asked,
Ian, can I talk to you alone for a sec?
He said with a low and kinda sad voice. Sure, I'll be right back, Anthony, I said, taking his arm away from me.
Miss you. Anthony.
He said, walking out of the room. What is it, David? I asked him as we sat down on 2 chairs.
Tell me the truth. Are you actually in love with him?
He asked serious. Yes, of course I am. Why would I be with him if I didn't love him? I said, laughing. David stood up and punched the wall 5 times. I quickly stood up from my chair and said, Wow! What's going on?
Ian, I'm in love with you!
He said, crying a little tear. I just stared at him, confused.
I wanted land corn
Ian
so...
corn.
I forgot there's not a headrest on my fucking neck! I wanted land corn. I wanted Ian corn so bad, and now I will never get it because Anthony in his big mouth.
He said angry. Wow, what do you mean? I asked.
I told him that I liked you, and he told me that he liked you too. We agreed that we're not going to try to get you before me, and Anthony had talkie. He was going to do it first, but he lied. David screamed angry, kissing down a chair.
We agreed that we were not going to try to get you before me and Anthony had talked to you, so he's going to do it first. I got so scared of what he could do.
But I want to ask you something. Do you love me more than him?
He asked with hope in his eyes. I thought for a moment what I was going to say. If I had said yes, I had to break up with Anthony, and I didn't want to do that. If I say no, I think Dave's going to do something he will regret.
I think Ian's going to regret. Based on previous stories.
I think that's what happened. This is the prequel. But I answered the truth. I'm sorry, but no, I love Anthony, and I couldn't finish my sentence before he walked over to me and kissed me. No, Ian, there's a problem, bro. I tried to push him off, but he took me to the wall and held my wrist so I couldn't punch him. He kept kissing me, but I tried to get away from him by turning my head away from him. I closed my eyes because I didn't want to see any of this. Then someone came in the door and pushed David away from me. I opened my eyes. In my ears.
Hey, Anthony!
I saw Anthony!
Like, imagine kissing somebody and you have to hold their wrist against the wall so they can't punch you.
I mean, it happens.
What the hell were you doing?
He screamed angry at David.
What? He kissed me! David lied.
Ian.
Yeah, sure. That looked just like Ian kissed you, didn't it?
Anthony screamed sarcastic.
We are leaving.
Anthony said, taking my arm and dragging me out of the room to his car.
Are you okay?
He asked me while starting the car. Yeah, I think so, I said. We didn't say much before we got home because that's when it gets bad. To be continued.
Is he gonna get lubricated good? He got beat up by a guy that Anthony paid to beat him up.
Why would you date your best friend after they saw you flirting with a girl? So they paid the biggest guy at the party to beat the shit out of you. He beat him up, and then when the dude who paid him the money, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm getting my money and a girlfriend.
He got up and he got paid to disturb him, and the guy gets up, walks over to Ian, does this.
I wonder what happened to this person in real life.
I was not expecting another Ian corn thing. Ian's point of view again.
We got home and I sat down on the couch while Anthony took a glass of milk and sat beside me.
Ian?
He asked, looking down at the floor. Yes, I replayed.
Did you kiss David?
He asked and looked at me sad. No, why would I do that? I have a boyfriend and that's you. Why do you think that? I asked, a little worried.
Because lately you've tried to get away from me and I don't understand why.
He said and a tear fell from his eye. I didn't know what to say, so I just stared at him.
Well, why did you do it?
Anthont asked. Did what? I asked, trying to avoid the question.
Why did you avoid me for so long?
He asked sad. I didn't, I stuttered.
You're lying! You're stuttering!
He said a little angry. No, I'm not. I stuttered again.
Just tell me the truth.
He said, looking me in the eye. I did say anything. So he screamed angry at me. Okay, I said. I had to tell Anthony the truth. I didn't know how he would handle it. When you told me you loved me, I wasn't in love with you. I said, closing my eyes.
What?
He asked. I didn't feel anything before today. I said, opening my eyes and saw Anthony cry.
I can't believe this.
He said and got up and went to his room.
Fuck!
Okay, so now we got how my life gets when I'm kidnapped. What do you think happened to Ian? I think that Anthony got so mad that he left and Ian was like, oh man, I need to go on a walk. So he leaves. And then when he leaves, he gets picked up by David. And David puts him in the basement. And Anthony calls and he's like, hey, have you seen Ian? And he goes, no. So he goes over to David's place anyway. And he's like, hey, have you seen Ian? And he's like, no. But then Anthony hears Ian scream from the basement.
You're coming to take me away.
Haha, they're coming to take me away. Oh,
Dinner is served.